we are joined by our guest from Dubai, Ms. Diva Sashalandani, Head of Research at Sanctuary Financial. Welcome, Ms. Diva, happy to have you. And my first question is the following. Aramco is very indebted in terms of oil companies with the debt to GDP ratio of 5.2% after the net debt to 104 billion USD. Do you think that this is a problematic problem for the company, or maybe the liquidity, the free cash flow compensates and is a warranty for more debt?
Well, yes. So as we've seen, the free cash flow for Aramco stands at almost $45 billion. So that is way above its competitors. So like you answered, that is definitely a big positive. Not only that, but if you look at the net debt for Aramco, so if you see the cash and cash equivalents for the company are way more than the debt on the books. So that also compensates for any kind of risk that investors have. So as far as that is concerned, Aramco is doing certainly well compared to its competitors, because although they have a huge debt on their books, their cash and cash equivalents and the short-term investments more than offset the debt on the books, making their gearing of almost minus 4%. So whereas their debt are concerned, of course the debt is high, but they have sufficient amount of cash as well as free cash flow available to provide for the same. So it is certainly not something that investors need to be concerned about.
Mr. Aramco has profits as well of billions of dollars. Do you think that, or how will Aramco use these profits, for example, invest in more exploration?
Yes, that is.
Or downstream, or do you think that they will service the debt? How will Aramco use this profit?
I believe Aramco will probably focus more on its upstream profit, on upscaling the exploration business as well, because that is where they have a key and a major, upside compared to its competitors. So it will continue to focus on that itself, and of course they have been using these profits to, pay back to their investors in terms of dividends and share buybacks. So that is also something that is on their mind, because they have been getting good liquidity from the banks as well, so they don't really need to use their current cash to support the same. So I don't believe that they would be paying off their debts. Obviously the debt ratio has already come down from what it was last year. Previously their gearing was close to 12%, and that has come down to 4%. So I don't think that they would be using the cash to pay off the debt, because it's any which ways their net debt to equity is way below. I mean, it's currently negative. So that may not be on the cards for Aramco, because the demand for oil currently is so high. So they may use this cash for the capital expenditure rather than for paying off the existing debt.
Ms. Deepa, with the Fed hike yesterday, so 4% now of interest rates in the US, do you think that the oil or the energy companies will go and take loans, or they will use their cash reserves? What are the options in terms of financing these companies after now the hike in interest rates?
So as far as Aramco is concerned, I'm sure it certainly has, definitely amazing tie-ups with its banks to get the good deals as far as the rates are concerned. Of course, the bottom lines of the companies will take a hit, given the fact that the borrowing costs have gone up. But at the same time, we are also seeing oil prices go up. So that will, to a certain extent, compensate for the same. Apart from that, even if you look at the amount of cash that Aramco or these other companies have on their books, that will also now start generating interest at a higher rate. So it will kind of compensate for the higher borrowing costs that these companies will have to face going forward. But like you said, using the existing cash and not relying on the banking facilities for some time being will also be an option available to companies, especially like Aramco, because they have such huge amount of cash on their balance sheets.
Ms. Deepa, according to you, the Aramco outlook says that the profits will go down in comparison with Q3. Do you think that the revenues and the profits to Aramco, we can say that they reached a peak and now they will decrease in comparison with the 2 quarters?
So yes, we could see some amount of like we saw Q2 was the best, and there was a fall comparatively in Q3. So we can see that happening in the future, but there are things that will compensate for the same. We have China on one hand, which is talking about opening up its economy, which will eventually force again the oil demand to go up, and at the same time we also have sanctions which may come up which will in fact be coming up on Russia. So because of that, oil demand is expected to remain high, and as far as the recession fears are concerned, that is still not seen in the economy, which was expected. We were expecting a slowdown, but that has still not come in. So in the immediate, I think this quarter the fourth quarter should be almost similar to what we saw in Q3, and then maybe from the next quarter onwards we could start seeing some decline as far as the profits are concerned for Aramco and other oil
Thank you very
companies.
much to Ms. Deepa Sashanandani, joined us from Dubai, and you are the head of research at Century Financial. Thank you, and until next time.
Thank you so much.